Hi everyone, thanks for joining in on our hip sequence. All you should need today are a mat and maybe yoga blocks or some sort of support if you need some assistance. Start out in a comfortable standing position, feet flat on the floor, then lift your big toes up to the ceiling. As you're lifting your big toes, push your other 4 toes into the ground and then switch. Lifting your big toes, then pushing them into the ground. Whichever toes you have lifted, push the opposite toes into the ground. So you go back and forth, pushing them, pulling them up. Do this for a few rounds. Then, as you have your toes lifted, now we're going to rock them down from the inside to the outside. If it helps to use your fingers like I'm doing, then do. Sometimes our minds work a little better if we give them something else to think about. Rock from the inside to the outside. Start with your big toe, then lift up to the pinky toe. Then push all 5 toes into the ground and lift them all at once. You're only pushing your toes into the ground. Try to clench the ground with your feet, then lift all toes at once. Clench the ground with your toes, and then lift them all at once. As you lift them, try to spread them out from one another, and as you push them down into the ground, try to keep them far apart from each other, gripping the floor as much as possible. Next, we're going to warm up our ankles. Go up onto your toes, trying to extend your arches as much as possible, and then rock back. Keep the knees soft, rocking back and forth. As you go up onto your toes, really try to open up the front of your ankle as much as possible. Rock back and forth for a few rounds. Then return to neutral, and we're going to rock side to side. Fall all the way to the insides and outsides of your feet. Really try to get onto the side of your foot. Keep the knees soft, bending as you go from side to side. Rock back and forth for a few more rounds. We're going to go through a sequence that will help loosen up your hamstrings. Start with your left leg forward. You want to square your hips so that they're facing forward. Your feet should be a few feet apart from each other so that you can extend both legs out easily. You want to tuck your tailbone so that your bottom is sticking out, and you want to keep your back straight and your chest lifted. No rounded backs. Then, lower down with a straight back looking straight out in front of you. Go only as far as you can keep your back straight. You should really feel this in your hamstring. As you bring yourself back up, use that front left leg to drive yourself back up. You should be pushing your heel into the ground hard, that way you can lift yourself back up. Do this for 10 rounds. Remember to keep your spine straight, to keep your hips facing forward, and try to keep your legs as straight as possible. Use that front leg to help drive yourself back up and lower down with control. Now we'll switch to the other side. Bring your right leg out in front. You want your legs to be the same distance apart that they were before. Make sure that those hips are square, facing forward. Lift your chest, straighten your back, and again, bend over straight. Use that extended right leg to push yourself back up. Try not to round your back, and we'll do 10 more of these. Each time, remember to square your hips. Think of drawing your right hip back and your left hip forward. Use that right leg, that right glute to really bring your body up. You should push down through your heel, and that should help you come back up with control. Now we're going to return to the first leg, our left leg. Again, feet a little bit apart, straight legs, square the hips, but this time we're going to lift our toes up off the floor and flex our foot. Keep the hips square, keep the back straight, and lift your chest. And again, bend over with a straight back. Think of bringing your tummy to your quads. Don't round the back. Really pull that big toe up towards your face. This now moves from just a hamstring stretch into a full leg calf hamstring stretch. Now switching over to the other side, bring your right leg back out. Again, straight legs, square the hips, flex your front foot, and repeat. Keep the back straight. You probably won't be able to bend over as far with these. That's okay. What's more important is to keep good form. Keep the hips straight, keep the legs straight. Really use that front leg to drive yourself forward. Don't let your back round. Keep your chest lifted. Now we're going to go back to our first leg, our left leg. Again, we want to keep our feet just a bit apart. We're going to do some lunges, but we're going to split it up into a couple different parts. So first, keep your right leg, your back leg, straight, and then go forward as far as you can, lunging with your left leg. Let your knee go as far over your toes as possible. Then, when you can't go any farther with your left leg, drop your right knee down to touch the ground, and then extend back to straight. As you go back up, use your left leg to drive yourself up. So again, we're going to bend our left leg first, keeping our right leg straight, drive forward, bend the right knee when we're as far down as we can go. Then we straighten the right knee again and drive back up with the left leg. Now we can switch over to the other side. So this time, you're going to have your right leg out in front, starting out with both legs straight. Then, drive forward with the right leg, keeping the left leg straight, let the knee go over the toes, dip the left knee, and then to push yourself up, use the right leg. Again, start with straight legs, drive the right knee forward, keeping the back leg straight, dip the back leg, straighten it before driving back up with your front leg. Use the front leg to bring yourself down. Finish the movement with the back leg, and then use the front leg to drive yourself back up. Now we'll go ahead and return back to our first side, our left leg, and this time we can take our lunge all the way to the ground, extend our left leg out in front. We want to make sure that we keep our backs nice and straight. If you need support blocks like yoga blocks, cans of soup, whatever you have around, use that so that you can put them under your hands so that your back stays nice and straight. You'll want to pull your toes back towards your face, and then let your pinky toe fall to the outside. So I'll turn so you can see that a little better. Legs straight out in front, keep the back nice and straight, chest lifted, and let your pinky toe go to the outside. As you bring your pinky toe to the outside, bring your hips to the opposite direction. So your pinky toe is going to the left, your hips are going to the right. As you do this, don't forget to pull your toes back towards your face. Actively flex that foot as much as possible. If you have tight calves, you'll feel this the most in your calves. However, if your calves are a little looser, then you should feel this a lot in your hamstrings. Now we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. So again, from a lunge position, extend your right leg. You want your back to be nice and straight. Don't let it round. Chest lifted. Use supports underneath your hands if you need to. Pull the toes back to your face and let your toes fall to the outside. This time your toes will be falling to the right. Your hips will be shifting over to the left. Make sure to keep that foot flexed. If you're like me, then your foot likes to turn. Make sure that your pinky toes are flexed just as much as your big toe. With each rotation, make sure you flex your foot just a little bit more. This should be a very active stretch. Now we'll go ahead and return to a lunge position on our left leg. So our left leg is going to be out in front. We're going to move into a low lunge. Make sure that your right leg is fully extended. Go ahead and let your knee go over your toes with your left leg. Drive it forward as much as possible. Try to keep your chest lifted, your torso straight, then dip your back leg so that your knee touches the ground. Do not let your head go up and down. You should be completely stationary. The only thing moving is your back leg, your knee dipping up and down. Each time you straighten your knee, think of squeezing your quads and your glutes so that you can fully extend that leg. You should really feel it in your hip flexors when you extend the leg. We're going to do 10 on each side. Once you've gotten to 10, go ahead and switch legs. You'll want your right leg out in front, a nice long lunge. Extend the back leg straight. Let the knee go over the toes. The farther forward you drive your front knee, the more of a stretch this will be on your hip flexors. And again, let the knee drop, the back knee drop, and then extend the leg. Don't let your head bob up and down. Try to keep completely still, except for that back leg bending to the floor and then extending straight. Again, when you extend straight, think of driving that back heel into the wall behind you. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glute. Once we've reached 10 on the right leg, then we'll go ahead and go back to our first leg, our left leg. Again, find yourself in that low lunge position. This time, we want to keep our left foot out in front. We're going to glue our left delt to the inside of our knee, and our hands are going to be glued to the floor. So our feet, our hands, and our shoulder and our knee never leave each other. Hands and feet on the floor, shoulder glued to the inside of the knee. Extend your back leg straight and roll onto the top of your foot. So you'll have to keep your foot pointed. You have to keep this leg super straight, and we're going to rotate the hips back and forth, opening from the front to the back. With each rotation, think of driving your hip down to the ground. So you'll roll from the outside of your foot all the way to the inside of your foot. We're slowly internally and externally rotating our hip. Remember, keep your shoulder glued to the inside of your knee, your arms nice and straight, and keep your hands on the floor. Now we'll move over to the other leg. So we'll want to have our right leg out in front. Our right shoulder is going to be glued to the inside of our right knee. Our left leg is extended out back. You'll point your toes so that you're rolling across the top of your foot. Hands on the floor, and then rotate. Each direction you rotate, you want to try to bring your hip down to the floor. So as you rotate to the back, you'll be going onto your heel. As you rotate to the front, you'll be going to the outside of your foot. Your back leg is your pivot point, so you have to keep it strong and straight. Don't let the knee bend. If it hurts the top of your foot, you can roll up a towel underneath of it. Make sure to keep your hands on the floor and don't let that shoulder leave the inside of your knee. Try to drop your hips as much as you can with each rotation. And now we'll move back over to our left side. We're going to find ourselves in a lunge position again. We want to drive our knee forward as much as possible. I like to think of getting onto the top of my knee, almost onto my quad with my right leg. It puts less pressure on the knee. And then butt kicks. 20, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then keep the foot there, grab it with your hand, and squeeze the butt. This should push your hips forward. It'll feel uncomfortable, that's good. Each time you squeeze the butt, drive that hip forward more, and squeeze, and release, and squeeze, and release. Now, keep it there, and now we're going to kick our hand away. And relax, and push the hand away, and relax, and push the hand away, and relax, and push the hand away. Now, bring your foot closer to your bottom, really drive the hips forward, and slowly let go of the foot and hold it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job, you guys. Now to give the other side some love. So get yourself set up. We're going to be kicking with our left foot, lunging with our right. Remember to push forward. Try to start out with a really low lunge to start with. And kick. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the foot there, grab it with your hand, and we're going to squeeze the butt. And squeeze, drive the hip forward, and relax. And squeeze, drive the hip forward, and relax. Squeeze, and relax. Squeeze, and relax. Now kick the hand away. Kick, and relax. Kick, and relax. You should be pushing your hand with your foot. And relax, and push, and relax. Push, and relax. Now, bring the foot in a little bit closer, slowly let go and hold it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and great job. Now we can string this whole thing together as a sequence, starting with the left leg out in front. In a split stance, we're going to bend straight over, nice straight backs. Flex the foot, bend straight over again. Push yourself back up. Drive the left knee forward, let the right knee come down. Extend the left leg. Use your hands as supports. Drive the left toes to the outside 3 times. Come to a low lunge, extend the right leg nice and strong, and knee dips for 1, 2, place the hands out in front of you. Drop your foot onto the top of your foot and rotate the hips. From the front to the back, roll across the top of your back leg, keep it nice and strong. Each time, bring your hips a little bit closer to the ground. Tuck your toes under, extend your back leg. Drop the right knee, bring your foot up to your bum. Squeeze it in as tight as you can. And hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and drop your right leg, extend, come back up to a split stance. Now we can do the other side. Extend the right leg out straight. You can simply just twist over to the other side. I just had to switch the legs here because of limited space. Go ahead and bend over with the straight back. Flex the foot, pull the toes towards your face, bring your tummy down to your thigh, and back up. Then drive the right knee forward, drop the left knee, extend the right leg, use your hands as support, nice straight back, and let the toes fall to the outside. Return to a lunge, extend the back leg out straight, nice straight torso, and drop the back knee, extend it out straight, and drop, and straight. Place the hands next to your feet, glue the shoulder to the inside of your knee. Tuck your toes under and roll the hips to the inside and then to the outside. Keep the back leg nice and straight, rolling across the top of that foot. Tuck the toes back under. Extend the leg. Now we can drop to a low lunge. Bring your hind foot up to you. Squeeze your foot in as tight as you can and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Return to a low lunge and push back up to a split stance. 2 more times, the full sequence. Start with the left leg. 1 good morning. Nice straight back. Lift the foot. Another good morning. Keep the back straight. Drive the left knee forward. Let the right knee drop. Extend the left leg. Use your hands as support. Nice straight back. Let the toes fall to the outside. Return to a low lunge. Extend the back leg. Nice straight torso. Bend the knee. Extend. Bend the knee. Extend. Place your hands in front. Glue your shoulder to your knee. Roll to the top of your foot. Tuck the toes. And roll to the inside and then to the outside. Each time driving your hip down to the mat. Keeping that back leg nice and straight. Tuck the toes. Return to a lunge. Drop the knee, bring the foot up to the bum, squeeze it in, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the foot go, return to a low lunge, up to a split stance. Now the right side. Do a good morning on the right side, nice straight legs. Flex the foot. Keep the back straight, square the hips. Lift the chest. Drive the right knee forward, keep the back leg straight. Now let the left knee come to the ground, hover for a second. Extend the right leg. Flex the toes to your face and let the toes fall to the outside. As your toes fall to the outside, let the hips go the opposite direction. Remember to flex your foot. Return to the lunge, extend the back leg. Nice and strong left leg. Bend the knee and extend. Bend the knee and extend. Bend and extend. Place the hands down by your foot, glue your shoulder to the inside of your knee, tuck your toes so you're on the top of your foot, nice strong back leg. Roll the hips to the inside, then to the outside. Back to the inside, drop the hips, and to the outside. And one more time, inside and out. Return to a lunge. You can drop the knee. Drive your right knee forward as far as you can. Try to get a little bit lower this time. Squeeze the foot into your bottom and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Nice and slow. Extend the leg, push up to a split stance, and last time for each side. Again with the left leg. Extend the leg straight, square the hips, and bring the tummy to the top of your thigh. Nice straight back, chest lifted, flex the foot, and again. Go down into a lunge, drive the left leg forward, keep the right leg straight. Now let the right leg follow to the ground, nice and slow. Extend the left leg out straight, use your hands as support. Bring the left toes over to the outside, flex the toes to your face. Back to lunge, extend the right back leg. Nice and strong, lifted chest, nice straight torso. Let the knee drop and then extend it out straight. Place your hands by your feet. Glue your shoulder to your knee. Roll to the top of your foot, nice straight back leg. Roll to the inside, then to the outside. Roll across the top of your foot. Make sure you're squeezing your quads. That back leg should be super strong, super straight. Tuck the toes. Return to an extended low lunge. Drop the knee. Bring your foot to your bottom. Squeeze it in as tight as you can. See if you can get a little bit farther this time. Drive that left knee forward and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly let it down, don't let it flop to the ground. Extend the back leg, push up, and switch legs for the last time. Right leg forward into a split stance. Nice straight back, good morning on the right side. Flex the feet. Plant the feet, drive the right knee forward, let the left knee slowly come down, extend the right leg, bring the toes to the outside, let your hips shift over to the left side. Remember to flex the toes hard. Return to a lunge, extend your left leg, squeeze those quads, let the knee dip, and extend, dip, and extend, dip, and extend. Plant the hands, right shoulder to the inside of the right knee, roll to the top of the foot, roll your hips to the inside and to the outside. Hands should stay on the mat, shoulders stuck to the inside of your knee, rolling across that back leg. Should be really strong, really straight. Tuck the toes under, return to a low lunge. Drive your right knee forward as much as you can. Really try to get an extension on that left hip flexor. Bring the heel into your bum and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly let it down. Tuck the toes. Extended low lunge, and we're done.